Now they say their water has not flown for more than 3, 4, 5 days, and so you need to come to their aid. So Ghana Water Company, good morning to you. The folks at Accra New Town, an area called Agbaje. There's no water supply. There's been more than 4 days now, so you need to attend to them. Well, let's check out what's on the front page. The Daily Statement this morning says, NPA seeks to restructure bitumen industry. You are Ghana's Moses, Chief Lord President, over life-changing interventions. 1D1F Central Oil Mills almost ready for operations, and NSS boss cautions against fraudulent middlemen. That's on the front page of the Daily Statement. The Finder newspaper says Republic Bank launches endless financial growth plan for customers. NPA to streamline bitumen industry. Dr. Abdul Hamid is the NPA boss there. Also, equip police to tow vehicles on roads to justify mandatory towing levy. Stakeholders, Kweku Ofori-Siama is Transport Minister. President Akufo-Addo is the Moses of our time. Chief Ohemen, Chief Lord President Akufo-Addo. GMPC Arcade deal to add 200,000 barrels per day. First oil pour expected in 2024, according to Dr. Sapon. The Daily Guide include Jackson graduates in GES posting and death prophecy. Pastor arrested, scared Shatawale Heights. Well, Shatawale now, we're told, is in the grip of the law. And funny face busted. Mahama goes after chiefs. That's on the front page of the Daily Guide. The Republic Press. Police grab Doom Prophet over Shatawale's gunshot prophecy. I'm 100% committed to building Cape Coast Airport in Nanado. Soldiers demand 50K to embark on coup witness. And police to fight crime with dogs. I'm sure you've seen them around town. Accountant General backs down on no NI card, no salary threat. Won to me in hot waters for calling Spio Gabra thief. Daily Graphic. No Ghana card, no salary. Accountant General reverses directive. And train dogs beef up security. They join the horses and the human beings. Create secondary cities for effective planning, according to consultant. And Youth Connect Summit opens in Accra today. The Ghanaian Times, shatter funny face land in hot water as President cuts sword for work to begin on the 12.1 kilometer Hemenin Sutem Road project. Government to inject $2.5 billion into security intelligence agencies over next 2 years, Kandapa, and Youth Connect opens here in Accra. The BNFT is next. What does it say? It says that the Ghana Economic Forum 2021 information gap remains biggest threat to startups. GEF panelists. Private sector has capacity to absorb youth job seekers. Upon Nkrumah says so after the finance minister had said that the public sector is choked. MasterCard to leverage a Greek for unlocking youth job opportunities, and GDP expected to grow by 4.3% by year end, according to Standard Bank. And Republic Bank launches a Blue Portal campaign into success. My guest this morning, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Okoboy, is a former Deputy Minister for Health, former board chairman at Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and also is a former member of parliament for the Lejokuku constituency. He joins me here on the ticket of the NPP. And also lawyer Roxin Nelson Eche Dafiamakbo is the member of parliament for South Dine. He joins me in studio here on the ticket of the NDC. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome. How are you doing?
Good morning to you. And good morning to my good people in South Dine. Peki Bali Kwevetembo.
The Eastern Corridor Road.
Yes.
We are still talking about it.
No, it's the last time we met, I told you that there's a new contractor.
Okay.
That's come on site. His name is First Sky.
Okay.
It's been awarded the Skuma to harvest section, 45 kilometers. But 6 kilometers has been taken by another contractor from under sponsorship from Kokobot.
Okay.
So First Sky is handling 39.3 kilometers. So that will take him from Askuma to about Woji.
Okay.
Yes. So he's back on site.
He's back on site.
Yes.
Okay. I want it to be fixed because I've heard it in nearly every budget statement and every state to nation address. Okay.
So for today, I have good news for the people of South Dine.
All right. I'm happy about it because this morning I did a little rant about it. Okay. Last week I was at Kolebu. I met 2 senior doctors and 1 nurse. They spoke highly of you. They said when you came there, you came to kill fire. Then I asked them, oh, what kind of fire was there at Korle Bu? They said, when I see you, I should ask you. What kind of fire was at Korle Bu when you went there?
Johnny. Let me say a very good morning to you, to all your viewers, to my brother, Dafima. You know, today I learned some 499 lawyers or law students who have issues with their results.
Right.
Are actually having a red day. I'm surprised that a social activist like my brother, some of them call themselves comrades. You have 499 people in hot waters, and you will not even say anything to try and mitigate their, how do you call it, displeasure. And they said today is a red day, and you are wearing white. In fact, he has to do something. He's a lawyer.
Okay.
And as a member of this ruling government, I'm happy that an opposition MP is talking about contractors coming to site and working on these roads. The government is working. And you need more of such testimonies to be assured that it shall be well.
But HA, just to put on record, that HA has been very, very vocal on the issue of reforming legal education. In fact, he wrote about 3 or 4 articles, right, on it, and he's spoken extensively about it.
This one is a jab. It's not.
I know it's a jab.
It's a jab. You're jabbing him. Slow jab.
Yes.
But I'm also saying what I know as a journalist.
He knows that I remain the lone voice on the admission of the 499. And including, in addition to that, including other matters that are happening in the law. I remain the lone voice.
It's new day. So once I've done anything.
And in any case, the Eastern Corridor, you abandoned it. The project was ongoing when you took. Yes, it was ongoing.
If you talk like this, I'll let the contractor. I can call the contractor.
No, you cannot, because it is money that is coming from GOG. You know that you abandon. You ask the project.
Why are you threatening
to stop? I'm not threatening you.
Okay,
I'm putting you right.
I hear you. I said I went to Korle Bu last week. I met 2 senior doctors and 1 nurse.
Yeah.
They spoke highly about you. So when they started going on and on and on. I asked them, why are they praising you like that? And then they said, oh, when you came there, there was fire, and that you came to kill the fire. What kind of fire was at Korle Bu?
Johnny, you know, I am thankful to His Excellency the President. He sent me there as the board chair. In their history, I can say that I'm one of the youngest board chairmen to go there. And Korle Bu had some very serious structural problems. When I say structural, that's as part of their system, the way of running, they had some very serious challenges, which had been identified by many predecessors. But I think how to go about it was a problem, considering their unique history of, you have industrial or disputes and all that. So I did a lot of consultations, and by the grace of God, we were able to resolve some of the very key challenges. And I'm excited to mention on your program that I've documented this in a book.
Oh, okay.
And we'll launch the book next week.
Oh, you have a book?
Yes. My time at Korle Bu. And when the copy comes, I'm sure by next week, I'll bring a copy to the studio. The title is quite intriguing. It's The Mother and the Monster. The Mother and the Monster. In the Monster.
I see.
Yeah. And, Prof. Frimpong Boateng, former minister, Messi, the Minister of Environment, Social Science and Innovation.
Right.
He wrote a book on Korle Bu after close to 8 years or so as CEO, and the title was Taming a Monster.
Okay.
And basically what he said was that Korle Bu is like a monster. You can't kill it. You can only tame it. But in my book, it tells you why the monster identity appears to be a mother after reading. So I think the message is clear that whichever sector we have in this country can be transformed, or can be set on the path of transformation. We need commitment, and we need a lot of passion and energy, and it's possible.
It's possible. I like it when young people like me excel. And I was almost teary when they spoke about you heavily at Korle Bu. So congratulations to you, young board chair, and for doing, I don't know, you don't want to talk about the fire, but it's fine. Let's take a look at the president.
Is that the reason why it's been made formal? You should have continued in that position.
Are you the appointed?
But when he left,
are you the appointed?
But when he left Kolebu, I think he became deputy minister.
Yeah, but now he's no longer with the ministerial. So
are you the appointed authority?
You are here. People are praising you. Your job, the job that you did was be taken away.
I'm in touch with the appointed authority. So let's move forward.
You're in touch with your appointers.
Good morning, Mr. President. Let's take a look at the president in the Central Region. He's been on a tour, and let's do the wrap first of all on the president's visit to the Central Region.
First, Western region, is Central region.
And for the airport project, it will come on. We've been considering the Central and Western region. The feasibility study is almost completed, so the project could start in the first quarter of 2022.
I'm sure that by the first quarter of 2022,
He noted the One District, One Factory flagship program is not mere rhetoric, but a reality to industrialize Ghana with the establishment of more industries to create more job opportunities.
Results fair, 1D, 1F, no impact on the lives of the people in the district. 1D, 1F.
Our political opponents said we would not be able to implement the 1D, 1F project, and that we were telling lies to Ghanaians.
And then Ghana for baby and no credit war. 1 year or 1 year can no credit one is Zuzua.
Now Ghanaians know the truth. Our opponents are still criticizing. Meanwhile, they do not have any alternatives.
The president cut short for the commencement of projects and commissioned new ones. Addressing the chiefs and people as part of his tour, he expressed gratitude for the confidence reposed in him during the 2020 general elections, adding that the MPP is determined to reclaim all lost parliamentary seats in the region.
So that's a wrap of the president in the Central Region. Let me begin with you. The people of Central Region are not too excited because they say a promise was made to them regarding the construction of a harbour, as announced by Vice President Bawumia. Now, the president goes there and says, we didn't promise anything of the sort. They say, Nana Dadaye. What do you say?
Well, let me say that I'm happy that I come from a coastal town. And if you look at the Fourth Republic, and you consider governments or the political parties, the two dominant ones, the NDC and MPP. To be very honest with you, the MPP has a track record of following through their promises. Although I admit that no government has kept 100%. In fact, maybe 80% even of their promises across the Fourth Republic will be difficult to achieve. The point I want to make is that although we all don't achieve all that we promise, the MPP has a firm record of following through most of their promises when they get power. Look, one of the things we promised and made noise about was the free SHS. Before we came, some doubted, some even thought we'll run away and say, oh, we'll put it on the shelf for some time. We need some years to make money. First year in office, we executed that policy. Johnny, Dr. Koboy, I can say as a witness that as we speak right now, there's a contractor working on the Teshi landing beach.
Okay.
A project that was promised way time during Kufuor's time, President Kufuor. And in fact, before President Kufuor left office, there was some form of shortcutting at the beach that if God should be, what's the word? Favorable to us, for us to continue beyond 2008, it will start, the project will start. For the 8 years of the NDC, they said they were going to build it. It didn't happen. Now, as we speak, it took the Akufo-Addo government. Again, this was also promised. And the landing sites that were promised, Teshi, Cape Coast, Axim, Keta, Manford, all these, about 12 of them, Teshi is part of the 12.
Right.
most places, I know of Axim, their project is even far advanced than Teshi. And as we speak, Teshi's project is about 70-75%. Now, Johnny, forgive me, but I have to mention this. When the Prof. Mills was in office, he made some efforts to try and get the landing beaches constructed. These 12 that we are constructing. In fact, he approached CDB, and some funds were dedicated for the landing beaches. Do you know that when JM took over, they approached CDB and told them that the prioritization, landing beach was not priority.
Really?
That fund, yes, that fund was supposed to go into other projects. So when we came into office, both President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia went to China to make a case that the landing beaches are a serious priority, and the funds were reallocated to landing beaches, and that's why today we are having them. Now, I think this is a point that is very important for anybody watching this program who is not a coastal person. There are some terms that are used interchangeably for any project or structure that deals with the waves, calms the waves, and allow fisher folks to come to shore and go back to sea. The terms include, they are used interchangeably. Harbor, landing beach, wharf. I don't know what I've heard that term, wharf.
I've heard that.
Exactly. It's actually West African fisheries. But they were the people who normally introduced these concepts to the fisher folks. So when a fisherman tells you that we want a harbor in our town, although technically a harbor like you have at Tema is not the same as the landing beach that built at Teshi. When a fisher folk tells you that you have to give us wharf, the first thing they are talking about is breakwater. In fact, this is also used interchangeably. Johnny, 4 words: landing beach, harbor, wharf, breakwater. I have met them several times, and they use these words interchangeably. All they mean is that give us a structure which is able to break the waves and allow us to land in a very efficient manner. And you see, the president said something when they said, you promised us a harbor. He didn't say, I never promised anything, any structure at the, how do you call it, at Cape Coast, in terms of the sea. But he said, what I promised is a landing site.
But it's in your manifesto.
Oh, the landing sites?
Yeah, no, the harbor is in the manifesto.
Don't you have landing site?
It's black and white, written in the manifesto of the NPP.
Oh, Johnny, I'm saying that...
announced by no less a person than the vice president, who's a PhD holder.
Oh,
so
I'm not saying...
We can forgive the fisher folks when they say wharf and landing beach and harbor. They use the words interchangeably. But when an intellectual party like the NPP is putting together a manifesto and puts harbor there, and the vice president, who was a PhD holder, says... Cape Coast, maybe play that vice president's video for me. The video of the vice president announcing that Cape Coast will have the harbor and the airport. Okay, let's hear it.
People of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are building a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast. It is very critical that we do that. An airport makes a lot of sense in Cape Coast. It's a real tourist hub, and between Greater Accra, Kumasi and Cape Coast, you have a triangle that really is a lot of hub of economic activity. You can build railway lines between them, and it's a major growth pole if we put an airport here to drive infrastructure growth.
That's the vice president there, Johnny,
I think we have to get some things clear here. What the vice president said, I've heard people say that, oh, it's in the manifesto. You also said it.
Right. I'm trying to find it.
Yes, honestly, I stand to be corrected. I've read our manifesto several times. What I remember is that Cape Coast is supposed to be part of the landing sites, just like Teshi is part of the landing sites.
Okay, so I found it, page 160 of the NPP's manifesto. It says completion of the construction of the Western Line and Tema and Pakadan rail lines. Commence construction of 1, the Eastern Rail Line, 2, the Ediading to Obuasi lines, 3, the Ghana-Burkina line, 4, a new line between Sekondi and Shama Free Zones area. 5, a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast. Then 6, it says prioritize studies in establishing a rail link through Kaswa to Accra, and with a view to establishing a rail line service to reduce significantly travel time to and from the fast growing part of Greater Accra and Central Region. So that's it. That's page 160 of the NPP manifesto.
So I think it's important for us to realize that the one who promises a project and goes ahead to carry out a project, even if, you know, like I said, Tema Harbour is not the same as the Teshi landing site, but for future folks, they virtually use them interchangeably. But Johnny, lawyers say there is a letter and a spirit.
Right.
I've explained to you that it is really unrealistic to have the kind of harbour we have at Takoradi at Cape Coast. I worked in Cape Coast for like close to 2 years. Anything you do to help the fisher folks will amount to some form of landing beach.
But you put it in a... You see, my difficulty is
that... Johnny, but that's... I'm not discounting...
The NPP is a party of intellectuals.
Yes.
You put this in a manifesto. Were you producing a manifesto for the fisher folks or what?
Like I've told you, if you want to go by the wording in the manifesto, if you can say that it's not a harbour, like we know, it's not exactly like a landing beach. I will not contend you.
Right.
But the point I've made is that we are not saying it's zero in Cape Coast. We are still committed to having a structure at the coast, which is what? A landing beach.
A landing beach, okay.
So as for that one, the president reaffirmed that, look, I'm committed to building a landing beach. If you refer me to a manifesto and say, Doc, it's not exactly the same, honestly, I can't contend you. But I'm referring to...
So are you refreshing
it's not refreshing.
Rewriting,
but Johnny,
altering the promise?
Even there are books that have been published. Authors come and tell you, I really wanted to say this. I don't believe that the president deliberately or the NPP as a government deliberately would tell you, I want to build a harbour so that your expectations go high. When in the back of their mind, I mean the government, we really know that it's a landing beach. I don't believe that's the case. If there's anything, I think we were not careful with the capturing, because I would have been worried if the president had said, I never promised to.
But you see where my difficulty lies, Suko, is that the president speaking at that radio station had speaking notes in front of him.
Yes.
That had been put together by a team of researchers. So I'm looking at what was in the manifesto, what the vice president said in Cape Coast in August of 2020, and what the speaking notes before the president is saying.
I think
they are saying three different things.
I think there are three things here. And it's been carefully orchestrated by some people to create the impression that there is confusion.
Okay.
The president said, I never promised, referring to his person. As in, he's not stood anywhere to say that I'll build a hub. I'm talking about President Kufuor. Then someone says that, but Bawumia said it. Yes, it's true, Bawumia said it, as you played. But if you had interviewed Bawumia, Dr. Bawumia, but Dr. Bawumia didn't say, I never said it. I hope you get me. People technically are telling President Kufuor, you've said it indirectly through your manifesto. Is that not it? I think these are straight, what's the word?
So what's the way forward for the Cape Coast? Because I have a part of me that comes from Cape Coast.
There are three things. First of all, yes, it's been captured in our manifesto. So if anybody says that your government must own it, I agree. But if President Kufuor tells you, I, as President Kufuor, have not vocalized or said it anywhere that I'll build a harbour, he's also in his right, because he's not said.
But the vice president works to the president.
Oh, I know.
So the vice president and the president cannot be telling us two different things.
But I've also explained that there's going to be the construction of a landing site.
Okay.
And the landing site, like I told you, has a purpose, which is to make fishing as an activity become modernized.
Let's be fair
before
to
comes in, remember they had 8 years to build 12 landing sites. For 8 good years, not even one materialized. That's his history before he starts. I talk about the JM administration.
Also, step in for me. I'm sure you've seen the video. We play the videos. Can we play the president's video quickly before Ichi comes in? You've heard the vice president video. We've given you a wrap of his tour. Take a listen to the President of the Republic speaking at the local radio station in the Central Region.
First of all, there's a clarification. The commitment was never to a harbour. It was to a landing site. So as far as the harbour, we have to be very clear in our mind. We never committed ourselves. I never said I was going to build a harbour at Cape Coast. I said I was going to build a landing site, like what I've done in these 6 other places in the Central Region.
That's President Akufo-Addo. They says there's a clarity. Eche?
Johnny.
Why are you laughing? It's a serious matter.
Very, very serious matter. So I thank you for the opportunity. Oko boy, Today you sit here and tell us that harbor means a quay, a wharf, a marina, a landing site. Is that what you are telling us?
Is your constituency a coastal town?
Okoboy.
Oh, we are speaking reality.
Okoboy.
Not law.
Allow him.
Okoboy,
take them as rhetorical.
No, if you ask me, no, I can't
Okoboy, I am a child of the coast. In fact, as far back as 1784, my great grandmother's land was used to build a lighthouse at Way.
Is that what they told you?
Cape St. Paul.
Is that what they told you?
So I am a child of the coast. There is no way you can tell the Republic of Ghana that a landing site is the equivalent of a harbor.
What other words are you for it?
Allow him. You can note your reservations.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
So then don't tell us that it is interchangeable.
No, if you are a fisher,
you are a scholar.
Use other terms.
Please.
I'm talking about the language.
Allow him. Let's
you are a scholar. So don't confuse the people. Don't tell them that they are interchangeable. They are not. Students are listening to us. A harbor, properly so called, can never be the equivalent of a landing site, nor a landing bay, nor a wharf, nor a quay. Please. Nor a waterfront.
No.
Please. You said it is interchangeable.
No.
And
I said when you listen to them.
You said you are used
the fisher folks use them interchangeably.
Why? And the fisher folks.
I think we need to be fair to HA. Let him make his point.
Let me make my point.
He was quiet for you.
So you are telling Ghanaians that
talk to the fisher folks.
You are telling Ghanaians and the fisher folks in my hometown in Way and Keta and Tegbi and Angloga that when the government says you build Keta Seaport, it's actually referring to a landing site, isn't it?
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what we are saying.
I'm not.
You said the fisher folk, they use it
interchangeable. Don't engage him.
Okay.
Engage me
very much.
Yes, boss.
So that is a fallacy.
They said you not talk to me. You are still talking to me. Talk to the host.
He also says airport. So Okoboy, when the president says airport in Ebebasu, he's talking of an airstrip, an aerodrome.
I have not said so.
Oh. You are saying they are used interchangeably.
I mentioned
your party promised two things.
Yeah.
Within the same breath.
Yeah, it will be done.
That a harbor and an airport.
The airport will be
then
done.
He went ahead to justify the reasons why the airport will be of an economic viability.
Yeah, to be done.
Because it refers to Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast as a triangular commercial enclave.
That's a fact.
I agree. So the airport that is sitting in Takrady is an airstrip. You see, so when you guys are caught, and you even you failed the exams this morning. The question was, the president and his party promised the people of the central region to build a harbor at Cape Coast. The president goes to Cape Coast and tells the people that no, I never promised to build a harbor.
But what?
It is no longer an issue of a broken promise.
He says there's a clarity.
Yes.
No? The president used the word clarity.
No. The president is saying, I never gave you such a promise.
But I gave you what?
So it is not about, I gave the promise, and I'll deliver later. No. It's not about broken promise.
Let's be fair to him, please.
What is the clarification?
Mention the other one.
Let's be fair to him. I beg you. So please, no, you have a pen and paper in front of you. Please,
landing site as projects were already going on at Cape Coast before you came.
If you watch you.
And let me tell you.
Just stop engaging him, please.
The NDC government initiated about 12 landing sites.
8 years, nothing.
When they took over, in fact, the landing sites were to be built at both the coastal areas and inland areas. So in my constituency, I was to have one at Germany. When they came, they varied the project and stated that for lack of funding or for purposes of inadequacy of funding, they will complete the coastal ones first.
Okay.
The projects were initially undertaken by the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture. What this government did was that they took the project from Ministry of Fisheries and brought it under Ministry of Transportation or Ministry of Transport. So it is the Ministry of Transport that is presently undertaking those projects. And he says, which ones? They're not.
Teshi, there's Axim.
There's Teshi, there's Azim, there's Discof, there's Senya Breku, there's Gomoa Fete, there's Mori, there's Montfort, there's Winneba, there's Elmina, and there's Keta. So there's no way that central region alone has about 5 of these projects, and you will be telling the people that what you intended to give to Cape Coast is a landing site. It is not. You meant the harbor, and today you are running away from. In fact, you are even denying.
Bottom line.
The bottom line is that the government has been exposed. They told a big lie to the people of the central region, and the people of the central region are not happy with them. That's the bottom line. 2, Oko says that what? That when we came to power for 8 years, we couldn't complete the project. This is the 5th year. Those projects were initiated sometime in 2013.
No.
Allow him. Was it true that you reprioritized the funding that was allocated for those projects into other areas?
No, that is also not correct. You should check from their own budget statement. What they did, what they rather did was that they will leave the construction of the landing sites in the inland areas. So Germany was to get one, Ketekrachi, all those places. They decided to leave those ones and deal with the coastal areas.
Okay.
The coastal areas, it is 5 years.
But in 8 years, what was your investment into the achievement of that dream?
We were also constructing that. We couldn't finish, I agree.
You didn't start?
Oh, please, we started. We started.
Not even one,
please.
We
started.
Allow, please.
Now, when you took over in 2017, January, we are in October 2021, 5 years. All right? 5 years. The only one that has seen appreciable level of completion is the Senya Breku one, the one in Honorable Apenyo Markins place.
Have you been to Teshi?
The Futu.
It's the Senya Breku one. I am saying the one that has seen an appreciable
level. Appreciable means what percentage?
Of completion. You have stated them in your own budget. So I can give you the indices.
You have to tell them.
It's only the Senya Breku one that's about 80% at the level of completion. All the rest are still at stages where they took over from us. So Oko boy singing this morning about the Teshi one. I don't know where he's getting it from.
I see. Oko, so the vice president to make it, sorry.
No, and the third point.
Okay.
Oko seeks to say that today, President Akufo-Addo is detachable from the comments of the vice president.
I didn't say that.
When the vice president is the chairman of the economic...
I didn't say that.
Please.
Oko,
is the driver of the government policies.
Hold on. Oko, you said that the president, in putting that clarity out at the local radio station, maybe suggesting that he didn't promise it. He as Akufo-Addo, and not as an attachment to his party. That's what you said.
Kokubaku will say precision. The one speaking says that me as a person. This, please allow me.
You are deteriorating.
Look, it's not. I've already told number one. It's in our manifesto. I've admitted. Number two, Dr. Baunya said it. Right. Look, I just even got a message that check the difference between a fishing harbor and a landing site. If you check some of these terms, if you read them carefully, and you're not doing politics or propaganda, you see that there's a relationship.
You said there's a relationship.
But Oko,
you didn't bring scholarship to the
but Oko, you promised the people of Cape Coast.
Then two things will happen.
I'm coming. Sorry. You promised them both WAFs. Landing bridges and all.
I was very quiet when you spoke. I was very quiet.
They are saying the time.
No.
We are very quiet.
We are not.
The things
we are not.
And two.
They are saying the time according to power.
Today you are not being fair. You are not being the Oko that I know.
I was very quiet.
Pre-seconds are supposed to be quiet.
If I want
need this for
or that year, you are deteriorating.
What you reminded me of my school.
Johnny, the comments and the pronouncements of the president and the vice president are not interchangeable. They are not. So the decision by government today to say that promise was made by the vice president, it's also a fallacy. And let me tell you, you see, they were in Cape Coast to launch their manifesto.
Right.
We had received the first edition of the manifesto. The Harbour team was not in it. Keep quiet, let me speak.
You received it from where?
Yes, we had the copies.
Wow.
At the time they were launching.
It's an allegation.
Oh, please. It's not an allegation. So, when the vice president was actually speaking to the bullet points of the manifesto and made that promise, it was not contained. So there are two MPP manifestos.
Is the first one?
The revised edition is not contained.
Where are they?
The original edition does not contain the Harbor.
But that's not your party. How do you know which one?
How do you know which one? It's not your party.
Allow me.
We have the document.
Where are they?
We have the document.
Evidence, where are they?
You have two manifestos.
Where are
the
they?
original is the revised that contains the
Just
Harbor.
talk.
No.
Where are they?
We have it.
Okay, so actually, thank you.
We can bring it to the studio to show you.
Okay.
Two manifestos.
I'll be happy to see. Okay.
2021, your manifesto 2021 to 2024, whatever it is. Two times, two versions. So it is the revised version that they quickly had to indicate the Harbor. Today they are even running away from that. The figurehead, the bullet, the arrowhead of the government says that I never gave such a promise. And you want to take this government serious?
Johnny.
Okay, so the vice president, in making that promise to the Cape Coasters, also mentioned that aside the harbour and the airport, we're going to have rail lines in there so that he said we create a triangle and then it will become a major growth pole. These were his words. How far have we gone with the rail lines and the airport project?
Johnny, substance. Talk about the substance. What I know is that we've done feasibility studies. The airport, like the president said, sod will be cut first quarter next year.
Okay.
So the substance is that this government is committed to building an airport.
The same president cut sod from Ashama to Adamidi, 69 kilometers.
I don't think we are being fair to our viewers.
It's 12 months now.
I don't think we are being fair to our viewers. I don't think we are being fair to our viewers. We are not being fair to our viewers. I may be forced to put your microphones off if you are not on the floor.
Lawyer is small.
So the airport, yes, you are committed to it.
Yes,
what about the rail line?
So we are committed to building the airport. By the grace of God, first quarter next year, work would commence on the airport. That will give job. In fact, as for the ramifications, you know. Number two, this government is committed to building a landing site at Cape Coast.
Not a harbour.
Not like the president said, we are going to build. Jenny, if you are going to use our manifesto stricto sensu, I'm saying the motive. Sometimes the spirit, he's a lawyer. They say the spirit behind the letter, the intent is to build a landing site, and there are things the landing site.
Why are you creating an exception for this one? Because free SHS was clear, one district, one factory was clear,
Johnny,
one village, one dam was clear.
Johnny, I'm saying that
Ilbatampa is clear. All those ones are clear.
We are, this is their own document. Allow me, infrastructure development. This is their landing site.
Allow me to ask my question.
Johnny,
so
why are you? Please. Why are you creating an exception for a harbour as was promised? Johnny, and captured on tape like I played for you right now.
Maybe in closing this program, you can let your producers put definition for a harbour, efficient harbour, a landing site. The similarities will emerge.
I'm sure you knew the differences and the similarities, and you chose to use harbour in your.
Why is it that sometimes he's a lawyer? Why do lawyers tell you, my lord, I want to speak to the spirit behind
We are not
letter.
in court.
Come on. It's the intent. I'm telling you that the intent.
So the spirit behind the harbour is a landing site.
please.
The motive is to build. That is also an infrastructure project. Okay. That is a capital intensive project. But like in terms of wording, someone says that capture it appropriately. The president has.
Then that is false.
Please. Look, the president is the head of government, the executive. He's saying that I'm committed to building a landing site.
Not a harbour.
Not a harbour.
You have not answered my question on the rail line. On the rail line.
Johnny, but you see, Johnny.
Allow me, please.
Johnny,
on the rail line.
Look, sometimes let's be fair to each other. You are comparing some infrastructure versus zero. I'm telling you that this JM.
No, I'm not interested in doing history.
But
I'm asking you that the vice president, in announcing the harbour, he also announced the airport, and he said that we're going to have rail lines in there to create a major growth pole. Where are we now? You say we're doing feasibility studies for the airport.
Why have you not spoken to the growth pole that will come with the construction?
No, I'm asking you, what's up with the rail line?
It's like the two I mentioned. You are not interested.
I am happy you are saying that.
Johnny,
what's up with the rail line?
Allow me.
What's up with the rail line? He created a triangle.
Johnny, I'll mention the railway line. But how come the two that I've mentioned that we are committed to, you are not, you don't see enthused, you don't say anything.
And shouting and telling the people.
Won't that two create growth? The two create growth posts.
The vice president mentioned, I'm only following the vice president's lead.
I know.
Eche, please. I'm only following the vice president lead. He created for us a triangle.
Yes.
Airport, harbour, rail lines in between that will create jobs and all of that.
Railway network. Anybody who is studying that sector, it has received one of the most, what's the word? One of the biggest, in fact, how do you call it, injections in terms of building new ones and rehabilitating old ones under Jogati. Minister who has also taken over. I have to check once the vice president mentioned it, we are committed to such a program. I have to check. I don't want to speak to things that I have not verified. Okay. I have to check the plans in terms of going to Cape and all that.
I hear
now,
you.
Johnny, like I said, you are comparing a government.
About Canary, but their budget for this year is 130.
Oh, next time.
Here. Hold on.
Don't bring the
136 million.
What page are you quoting from?
This is their budget statement.
Wait. Let me see.
241.
Let me see.
Page 2, appendix 8.
Let me verify. Let us verify.
You verify. This is their budget. He says he's received one of the greatest work. 136 million. 136 million for a railway. These people. Is that the largest?
Okay.
And how much did you put?
Let me read some messages at this point. Interesting times. Abbas Amagobo in office says Ghanaians are suffering too much. The hardship is becoming unbearable for the ordinary Ghanaian. The cost of living is just too much. In fact, ordinary Ghanaians are going through hell. I am surprised all those who were talking loudly during Mohammed's regime are now quiet. God save Ghana. Jagos from Insawam says, Charlie, no one should joke with Dampare police administration because the man has totally changed Ghana police service now. So if I just feel pity for Shatawale and those who faked the gunshot incident, because the law is not going to spare anyone. Even Reverend Owusu Bempa was not spared with Dampare's administration. So who be Shatawale? Be sincere, but sincerely, Nana Akufo-Addo statement on the Cape Coast Harbour building is very legendary power. We say Alakpato Nanado Dr. Okoboy should just accept that Nanado also lied and apologize to the good people of Cape Coast and the entire Ghanaians. Prince Henry in Koforidia. Good morning, Johnny. Tell Dr. Okoboy he's not answering your question. He should stop referring us back that what the vice president said. An airport and a new harbour was the promise. Richard from Bolga. Walanyo Nakwecha says, good morning, Johnny, TV3. The people of Cape Coast should think twice in 2024 as they will have themselves to blame in future because as it stands, the Akufo-Addo Bawumia-led government doesn't know the promises made to the people of Cape Coast. Greetings to lawyer Eche Dafio-Amakpo. Should citizens who criticize heads of state for bad government be arrested while members of government who make peace-threatening and reckless statements get away with such misconduct? Asanko in Santa Maria is asking. Good morning. Please let Honorable Okoboy know that the 10% rent deductions he tried to stop at Kolebu Teaching Hospital is still going on for the past 1 year. Okay, you have to go back. No single renovation has taken place too. We, the residents of Kolebu, are now helpless. No Nyovi in Kolebu. Okay, you have to go back. Good morning, Johnny. Okoboy and his MPP members think they are smart enough to be defending the president. We are watching them from every angle of their lives. This is why we, the people of Lejokuku, voted him out. Oko promised A and that's Z. NDC 2024. Are you sure that I disagree with you? I know that Oko did a couple of things, including the taxis and the renovation market and other things. Good morning, Johnny. The NPP communicators are full of lies. Listening to Dr. Okoboy, please, Johnny, ask him this question for me. Do we plant sugarcane before establishing the factory or vice versa? The NPP will break Ghana, not it. Godwin from Boku. Good morning, Johnny. Hey, Ghana, our leaders give promises when they want us to vote for them. How can you put harbour in your manifesto and now you say you mean landing site? Hashtag Akufo-Addo and Bawumia administration. Hafsa Mohammed in Jarapa. Hi, Johnny, please don't allow Okoboy to confuse us. But both the harbour and the landing site were promised in their manifesto. While the harbour was promised in page 150, the landing site was in page 205. So Okoboy should go and read their manifesto and stop confusing himself from Basel and Damongo. Okoboy is following the president's lead. Good morning. It's so astonishing that doctor is trying with so much difficulty to defend the indefensible, even when it's crystal clear that our president erred for being polite and contradicted the very manifesto that made him president. Can we develop with this attitude, Gundana from Daboya. Good morning, Johnny. I'm very sad this morning listening to Doc's submission about the harbour issue. He went too low on that. MPP can't run away from their lives no longer. Kwesi Mensah and Jumako. Good morning, Johnny. I still remember when the Vice President said, if your foundation is weak, the city will expose you. Today, with all the good grammar and sweet words from the MPP party is exposed. MPP will kill us. Good morning, Johnny. I'm highly disappointed in Dr. Okubwai. What is the difference between the voice of the president, the vice president, and the voice of their own manifesto? It's disappointing to say the least. Let's have a break. Justin in Cape Coast, and we will have a break very, very soon. Lend me 2 minutes of your time. Play for me Mr. John Boydu's video on youth unemployment quickly, and then we will have that quick conversation. 2 minutes for them, and then we will go.
Check the budget for
we have a copy. I will go and check our copy. I'll go and check our copy of the manifesto. Now that you are telling me that there are 2 sets of manifestos, I want to go the copy of the budget. Play that video, please, for me.
29 million for the whole
and youth unemployment. Let me begin this conversation with you. Youth unemployment in this country is a big issue. I know your constituents have been sending you CVs and all of that, and some people have sent me CVs to forward to you both. Now, where are we now? What kind of help can we give to our young people? The finance minister says entrepreneurship is the next strike. Kojo Ponkroma says government will roll out, plans so that entrepreneurs can plug in. But the numbers are growing and it's ballooning. It's scary.
Johnny, thank you. There's a policy contradiction approach by this government. This government, instead of undertaking projects that will enhance opportunities for our young people to be employable, they frustrate those programs. One, in 2020, Ghana School of Law admitted 1,045 students. Training in the law is a special skill. When you graduate as a lawyer, you don't need a government intervention to get employed.
Right.
You are employed.
You can start private practice.
Exactly. And when you set up a private firm, you can employ other people. Not other lawyers until you are 7 years. Okay. But you can employ other workers.
Secretaries, PAs,
typists and all.
Cleaners.
Yes. So, in 2021, we expect government to ask the law school to increase the enrollment from 1,045 to say 2,000. Government puts it in its budget that the law school should admit around 550 people. Government. So, if a government has such an approach to training people, to training legal minds in the country, you can imagine the approach it has to other sectors. Imagine that we haven't had reforms in the medical training sector. University of Ghana would have still remained the only institution training doctors. And the frustration, even though now University of Ghana itself, University of Science and Technology, UDS, Cape Coast, and UHAS, and Dr. Professor I will mention his name, the one who is training has his private medical school, Professor Kwaukume.
Right.
Even though he and other doctors that are trained from outside, we still have a deficit in terms of doctor-patient ratio in this country.
Okay.
So when you look at the approach of the government, then you are baffled. If I were the government, I would ask the law school to train no less than 4,000 lawyers every year.
I hear you. Okay, please.
So it is one area that we could use to encourage the youth to get trained. They can even go and practice in the Gambia.
I hear you. Take a look at Mr. John Boyd's video. We'll have this 1 minute and then we will call it a morning here on the big issue.
He's intimidating me.
And they wake up and say the public sector is full.
Please play the 30 seconds video for me. I beg you.
The economy is expanding.
To situate the conversation.
Unbelievable.
Okay, well, I'm told they can't find a video. Okay, your quick thoughts about youth unemployment.
Let me land.
Well, we don't have a lot of time. Oko has has
Johnny,
interjected too many times.
Johnny,
and
this is dredgingtoday.com, just 30 seconds. The president of Ghana, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, cut the sod yesterday for the construction of a mini harbour and fish landing site in Axim in the Western region. Look at the opening paragraph. The project is set to be executed by China Harbour. They refer to it as mini harbour. Listen, Johnny. The project is set to be executed by China Harbour, an engineering company, over a 30-month period, and will involve, involve the construction of a breakwater, a quay wall, dredging, and ancillary facilities. You see the things that have been captured in the
So
facility.
are they not different?
That's why I told you.
Okay.
And let me ask you,
I may have to go.
Johnny, the jobs.
Is it the same as landing
I may
site
have to
that you
go.
have allocated 2 million Ghana
I may have to go.
Johnny, the
So
last
is it
time,
a deception?
the last time JM was asked
You
to
go and
create
cut a
jobs,
sword for
he
a
said it's
project
not
that you have
competition.
allocated 2 million Ghana cedis.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bernard Okoboy. He is a former Deputy Minister for Health of the Republic of Ghana. He's also the former Member of Parliament for the Lejikuku constituency in the Greater Accra region and a former board chairman of Kwalebu Teaching Hospital. Also, Roxin Nelson Eche Dafiamako is a private legal practitioner, is a member of the NDC's legal team. He is also the MP for the folks at South Dine. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming. Enjoy your Wednesday morning. There's more here. The Stanford Seed Transformation Network guys will be here. They're talking about local and global conference of CEOs, and they will be having that honest conversation with all of us tomorrow. And ahead of that, they will be here. Also, we're talking about the breast cancer, because we are in a pink month, the myths and all the things that you need to know. The sports and some entertainment. Mectorex contestants will be here. Thanks to Grandpa for my outfit this morning. See you after break.
Mommy, my teacher said I need calcium so I can have strong and healthy bones.
Well, at my age, I also need iron, magnesium, vitamin K, A, E, and folic acid.
And I also need
Vita has 18 essential minerals and vitamins that's good for you, and it's quick to prepare.
one in so share keke. And chakra, now set it.
Vita can